Campers, welcome back. I'm Spike.
I'm Chris.
That is Chris, and this is Geekin Out, and this is a special updated edition on Disney Plus. This is what he's been waiting on for some time.
Yes.
Disney Plus. D23, which is the Disney Expo, is going on as we record this, and there's a bunch of news, of course, coming out about Disney Plus, about Marvel, about Star Wars, about all the different properties that Disney has now. And just about all of them are going to be represented somewhere on Disney Plus. Of course, all the old stuff is going to be there. They're going to have quite a bit of old stuff, but they will be adding new stuff, and that's what was announced at D23. This is an idea of what is to come from the new Disney Plus show.
Disney Plus, take my hand.
And take my money.
Yes.
Now Disney Plus by itself, $6.99 a month is the way it's going to be. If you add Hulu with commercials and ESPN Plus, it's $12.99 a month. ESPN Plus by itself is going to run you about $5 a month anyway. So, and Hulu runs about $6. So,
yes,
basically buy Disney Plus, then buy one and get one free. So.
The thing is that you will never go bored when this happens because we're talking about years of content. I even heard that they're going so far back that they even got Pollyanna, for crying out loud, is going to be on this show. I mean on this streaming service. That's an old thing. I mean, we're talking about old stuff, and that really excites me. All the old TV shows, all the old cartoons, all the old movies, everything.
And that's the other thing, because with the recent purchase of 20th Century Fox, they're no longer limited to just the Disney stuff. The entire 20th Century Fox library, the TV shows and the movies, are now available to Disney to put on Disney Plus. So that's one less streaming service you're going to have to deal with. Fox ain't going to have one. But
that's going to take you to catch up with everything. It's going to take you probably a whole year. No joke.
It's going to be involved. Anyway, let's go over some of the shows that were announced at D23. Okay. Now, like I said, the service is going to start November 5th. And you can go. I'm not going to say you can pre-register yet. I don't think they have the website up.
I tried. I have tried, and there's nothing.
You'll have to wait. And odds are, if you try to sign up within around November 5th, you're probably going to have to wait a little bit because there's going to be a line about yay long.
That sucks.
But their original content is going to start hitting on November 12th, and they have, as far as I can tell, 3 shows to lead off with, and we might as well just start with the one everybody wants to see. That's The Mandalorian. That is the Star Wars spinoff coming up from Lucasfilm.
Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau is involved. He's the producer on this, and I know he's excited, okay, because, hey, Mandalorians, you're talking about Boba Fett and all that group. Boba Fett's not in this one. Let's get that straight. No Boba Fett.
You might think that that's him in the trailer, but no.
That's actually Boba Fett's helmet, I believe.
I don't know. It's
a bounty hunter helmet.
But, I don't know. I think there's certain bounty hunters that have, a certain look to them. I think that it's not him. I don't think. I'm pretty sure it's not.
But now I am hearing reports about what this show is and what it's based on.
Yes.
From what I understand, it's based... Now, back a few years ago when Disney bought Lucasfilm, one of the first things they did was they took all the Star Wars books, all the Star Wars comics, all the Star Wars TV shows and everything, and threw them in a dumpster and said, none of that counted. Okay, so none of that stuff counts. The first books that came out Disney authorized, apparently The Mandalorian is being based on them. And I'm not going to get too far into the weeds on this because I haven't actually done the research on this. I'm hearing it third hand. But there may be an issue, but don't let that keep you from looking forward to the show until more details come out. Yeah. But for right now, just know it's coming. It's going to be the first Star Wars live-action TV show, aside from the Christmas special, ever.
Oh.
So, And he just heard the Star Wars themed disco remix from 1977 this afternoon. So you're welcome. Okay. Also coming out November 12th. Let's move on before you Ralph on the table. The World According to Jeff Goldblum.
Yes.
We talk about a cult of personality. I guess he had some spare time between apartment.com commercials, and he's doing this show for Disney.
Yes, he's going to be traveling around the world, experiencing different cultures, and different cultures, God help them, is going to be experiencing Jeff Goldblum.
So, which is a whole thing of itself. Okay, also the third show premiering is called Encore, being hosted by Kristen Bell. If that name sounds familiar, she's one of the old hands at Disney TV. This is basically reunions of high school musical stars. They're going to take stars from the different... I think there have been 6 high school musical movies so far. They're going to mix and match stars from the movies and bring them together and see if they can put on some kind of other thing. So it's basically High School Reunion, the musical. Exactly. So that's the other one coming up on November 12th. Some of the others that I am aware of coming up December 3rd for people who are hardcore into Disney. They have a new series called One Day at Disney. Okay, most of these shows are about 30 minutes. The movie's going to run about 2 hours on Disney Plus. One Day at Disney is one of what they call the short episode series. In other words, it could be anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes usually. And this is called One Day at Disney. It's all about people who are responsible for the creative efforts at Disney. So they look at a different writer, they look at a different director, they look at a different producer, a different animator in each episode, and what kind of projects they're working on. It's basically a behind the scenes for Disney.
You know, honestly, I think they should change it up a little bit and instead go to the people that, you know, are dressed up as Gaston. Like there's some videos out there of the guy who's playing Gaston and him interacting with the people at Disney, and it's hilarious. And I think they should go to like each character and have them, you know, I think that would be better instead of going to writers and directors. And
I mean, it sounds like something kind of goofy, and like, why would I watch that?
Goofy.
Now, you're not old enough to remember the wonderful world of Disney, but back in the day, especially back when Disney was still alive and he was actually hosting the show, everyone, at least once a season, they would stop and they would go behind the scenes of like an animated movie, some other movie they were filming, or a TV show they were doing. They'd meet the guys behind Daniel Boone or any of these other shows that they would do, and basically Walt would have a film crew go through and follow them. It was one of the first reality TV things on TV, and they would do that about once a season. It always went over well because people trusted Walt Disney. They trusted the Disney company. They liked what they saw, and they wanted to know what Fess Parker was really like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So
I actually do remember that. I mean, he was way long past before I got to watch it, but they would play that on the weekends because I remember staying up all night watching the Disney Channel, and you would have that, and of course the old Mickey Mouse and Legend of Zorro and things like that on. So I remember all that. I remember watching all that stuff. So
yeah,
they had that on.
So those are the ones that have definite start dates on the service. Other ones that they're working on, Ewan McGregor is going to be in a new Obi-Wan series that starts filming in 2020. It's supposed to be set between episodes 3 and 4. So this is the one that comes between the prequels and the good ones. And he's going to be Obi-Wan there, I guess, to show how in the world did he wind up on that idiotic planet with absolutely nothing going on, except, of course, Darth Vader's son's there. Spoiler alert, by the way. So, what do you think? I'm not a big fan of the prequels, but
you know, I need to remind
you've seen the prequels. I haven't, so I'll let you go.
I'm. It doesn't. I got to admit, it doesn't actually excite me like some people, because I mean, even though I love Star Wars, I'm not a hardcore Star Wars fan. So due to the fact that they had him come back and play Obi-Wan, I mean, yeah, it's cool and all, but it's just not really something that I'm was like, yeah, like Mandalorian, yes. But this one is like, eh. Mostly, I guess because I got burned out on Luke and all that stuff. And what is up with all the mentors literally kicking butt, becoming legends, and then they die and they just die in peaceful? Like, it's like, I am ready to go now to the other way, and then come back as a spirit, stronger than ever. You never see, I mean,
It depends on what happens because remember the prequels and the original trilogy. Episode 3, I can't remember what it was called, like Fart of the Empire or something. And episode 4, New Hope, which is the name they came up with in '81. It was originally called Star Wars for the first 4 years of existence. And I've always thought of it as Star Wars, not A New Hope. But anyway, but you got a lot of ground you need to cover. You need to figure out how does he get in the Darth Vader armor? Where did all the stormtroopers come from? Who came up with the Death Star idea? And
I
all
know,
this other
but
stuff.
it's just, it always bothered me that, like, when they become a Jedi, they're strong. But it seems like when they die and they come back as a ghost or spirit or whatever, they're way stronger than what they were with the Force. I don't see why just a bunch of ghost Jedis don't come back and just whoop the dark side's butt. And then, there you go.
They got a peaceful, easy feeling. Also coming up in 2020, Muppets Now is supposed to be an unscripted short episode show. So in other words, probably about 10, 15, 20 minutes. But it's supposed to be unscripted. Now, I do love me some Muppets, but I have not been impressed with their TV shows since Jim Henson passed. Not too enthused with it. All right, go ahead and spit it out. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I love the Muppets. Even if the shows were bad.
Rule number
I love the
2,
Muppets.
Spike's rule number 2. There's always a big old butt. Go ahead.
I'm just saying. I love the shows. I love the Muppets. And I don't think Disney wouldn't spend that much money on this if they didn't think, oh, hey, this is actually pretty good.
It's the Muppets. It's not going to have the highest production. And that's part of what
No,
kills them. They don't
still.
have high production values. And they take themselves way, way too seriously now. But anyway. Coming in fall of 2020, we had Falcon and the Winter Soldier with the original actors from the movies. Plus, apparently, Emily Van Camp is going to be Sharon Carter. So she'll be in this show. And Wyatt Russell will be U.S. Agent, which is like one of Captain America's old enemies. And considering the Falcon is supposed to be the new Captain America, it's going to be interesting to kind of see what happens because the guy in the books, U.S. Agent is a guy named John Walker. He takes over as Captain America when Steve Rogers quits. Steve Rogers is a quitter, by the way. He does a lot of quitting in the books and a lot of whining in the movies. But anyway. John Walker takes over during one of the numerous occasions when Steve Rogers quits and kind of becomes reactionary and gets kicked out of the office when Steve Rogers comes back to be Captain America again, and he becomes U.S. Agent, which is essentially an undercover Black Ops Captain America, complete with the shield and everything.
Sounds like a lot.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're interested in this or not. Hilary Duff is going to be in a new Lizzie McGuire series.
Move on.
She's going to be 30, and the cartoons will still be there. The creator is going to be a producer.
Okay.
And the only thing you care less about than that are the other Marvel series in development for Disney Plus. Ms. Marvel, She-Hulk, Moon Knight. That's your Phase 4 lineup right there for the movies.
Now I'm confused. Is Miss Marvel Captain
Ms.
Marvel?
Marvel is
She Captain
Remember,
Marvel? That's all I care
not
about.
Captain Marvel used to be known as Ms. Marvel.
Oh, then forget about it.
Okay, but the new Ms. Marvel is an Arab American teen who has powers of her own and winds up accidentally taking over the identity.
No.
Let's see, She-Hulk She-Hulk is Bruce Banner's cousin Jennifer, and she gets irradiated somehow. I don't know if she gets a blood transfusion or what, but she can Hulk out, but she doesn't have the anger issues. She's always been in control, and she's an attorney at law.
Oh.
So She-Hulk can actually go to court and testify, which is a rarity for superheroes. And as for Moon Knight, imagine a Batman who kills. That's Moon Knight. Enthused he is. That's what's coming up for Disney Plus. So, not imagining you as enthusiastic coming up on 2020 as you are right now.
I mean, I was going to just say Moon Knight, yes. She-Hulk, yes, until you put it that way, and then it's like, you know.
She-Hulk
Moon
is
Knight,
if She-Hulk. The thing is, if you take the Hulk, make him a lawyer, and give him a sense of humor, you have She-Hulk. She-Hulk is best when the writer has a sense of humor about it, and when the writer he or she admits, usually he actually admits that this is a ridiculous setup, a ridiculous situation, but just goes with it.
It is.
And She-Hulk is notorious in the comic book because she's constantly breaking the fourth wall, talking to the audience, asking them what in the world should she make of what she's dealing with. So it's kind of like the Hulk meets Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Don't know who that is. Okay. So anyway, that's what we know coming out of D23 for the new Disney Plus show. We do have one more episode we're going to be recording this week. It'll be coming up sometime this week. In that one, we're going to be talking about the Sony-Disney deal, or the lack thereof, and oops, it's on, and oops, it's off. Hopefully, by the time we put this up, it will be settled, but that'll be on the next episode. He doubts it. Until next time, I'm Spike.
I'm Chris.
That is a very depressed Chris. And we will see you next time on Geeking Out. God bless, God keep, God speed. Night all.